Hello everyone and welcome back to Monsters of the Past. As always, I am your host Mr. G, and today I brought my pet raptor Andrew with me. I thought it was fitting since today we're talking about one of Velociraptor's relatives. It's the terrible claw itself, Deinonychus. Deinonychus means terrible claw, and it was a member of the dromaeosaur family. It was a carnivore and it lived during the early Cretaceous in the United States of America. Deinonychus was around 10 feet long, making it around the size of a tiger. Although Deinonychus was discovered in the 30s, it wasn't until the 1960s when paleontologists realized just how important it was. Before further analysis was done on Deinonychus, it was assumed that since dinosaurs were reptiles, that they were all big, slow, lumbering creatures. However, Deinonychus was a creature that was clearly built for an active lifestyle. In fact, the discovery of Deinonychus did two things. One, it gave the rise to the idea that some dinosaurs may have been warm-blooded, and two, these discoveries of Deinonychus are often credited for starting the dinosaur renaissance of the 1970s, where paleontologists started to seriously reevaluate dinosaurs, and their image started to change from slow lumbering monsters to agile bird-like creatures. Another notable find relating to Deinonychus was the fact that we seem to have evidence of pack-hunting behavior. This is due to the fact that we have remains of the iguanodontian dinosaur Tennotosaurus, with Deinonychus bite and scratch marks on their bones. Some paleontologists say that since Tennotosaurus was a significantly bigger animal than Deinonychus, and considering just how many marks there were, this is definitely proof of pack-hunting behavior. However, some paleontologists refute this and say that those marks could have come from an unrelated group of Deinonychuses scavenging off an already dead Tennotosaurus, similar to how Komodo dragons, which are normally solitary animals, have been known to come together to feed on dead carcasses. Regardless, the idea of Deinonychus being a pack hunter has led to the idea of all dromaeosaurs being pack hunters, even though only Deinonychus has any real evidence of pack hunting behavior, and like I just said, even that's debatable. Now that we got that out of the way, let's look at the card. Okay, this is clearly a 2000s portrayal of a raptor, so I am going to try to be nice. So, problem number 1, it doesn't have any feathers. Problem number 2, the story on the back of the card shows it attacking an iguanodon. Yes, as I just said, it has been known to live with the iguanodon relative Tennotosaurus, but the story clearly refers to it as an iguanodon, and that is the design they used for the iguanodon card, so don't even try to tell me it's supposed to be Tennotosaurus. Problem number 3. Just like the Velociraptor card, it claims the killing claws were used for slashing, even though nowadays we know that they are most likely used for puncturing. Problem number 4. Its head is shrink-wrapped, which, if you don't know, is a term used in paleontology when you only give a very based amount of skin around a fossil area. Overall, I give this card a 6 out of 10, just like the Raptor card. Now let's look at some pop culture appearances of Deinonychus. As I mentioned in my Velociraptor video, the animals that Jurassic Park calls velociraptors were actually modeled off of Deinonychus. And like I said in my raptor video, the reason behind this was because at the time that the original novel was being written, there was some consideration that Deinonychus may have actually been a species of velociraptor. And Michael Crichton heard this, he wrote it into the book, and then the movies just kind of stuck, even though nowadays we know that Deinonychus and Velociraptor were two different genuses. So, yeah. Although Deinonychus has appeared in some Jurassic Park media, like the Game Boy Advance game Jurassic Park 3 Park Builder, where humorously enough they gave it the proportions of an actual velociraptor, and it appeared in Jurassic World Evolution, and oh boy, you should have seen the paleontologist community when this thing was announced. It drove them nuts. And I can see why. In order to differentiate them from the velociraptors, they gave it a chicken-like comb and a weird fan on its tail. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll move on. Deinonychus appeared in one of the Land Before Time sequels. Oh, and in case you're confused, this is how Deinonychuses are portrayed, and this is how velociraptors are portrayed. Yeah, that's not confusing at all. Deinonychus appears as an adoptable animal in Zoo Tycoon 2. And finally, Deinonychus appears as a tameable animal in the video game Ark Survival Evolved, where its gimmick is that it's tamed by stealing its eggs and rearing their young from birth. That's all for this episode of Monsters of the Past. Join me next time when I talk about 2 giant theropods. Bye!